to the Ken and Mike Show. We are thrilled that you have joined us here once again on a Monday night. Thank you so much for doing so. Lots to talk about, lots of things to dive into, and of course, as always, lots of fun to get into as well. And if you have not liked and subscribed on YouTube, please do so. Again, you can follow us on any major podcast platform, and of course, definitely watch us on YouTube. And we love our community, and we're so thankful that you're here. Mike, what is up?
What up, Kenny? How was your week?
It's good. Great weekend. Like I told you, my pops is up from Tennessee, or from New York, so he's in Tennessee, and we hung out at his RV yesterday, and just kind of chilled around in the woods over a fire. It was great, and weather is pretty nice actually right now. But that means that because the up and down means possible. They haven't said this, but usually when we see the weather go from like 70 to 50 back to 70, it's usually like, okay, that's kind of good weather for tornadoes. So we'll see what happens.
Oh,
other
awesome.
than that, yeah, I love it. Other than that, man, it's all good, and just loving life, brother.
So what's new? What's happening? What's in the events that we want to dive into and yell and scream at everybody about?
Yeah, so there's definitely some fun stuff. We have a little montage video that we'll jump into for fun, because it's honestly, I mean, hey, if somebody likes what they see, then hey, all power to you. But I say it's a little bit preposterous.
I do warn you, I do have another Kenny React segment.
Oh boy, okay.
All ready to go.
Okay.
And I do have another trivia event for you tonight to partake in. And I'm willing to bet round one you're going to lose.
You know what? I'm not going to take that bet. I agree with you.
I'm willing to bet round one. I'm willing to bet round one you're going to lose. Round two you'll probably do good at. And round 3, 4, and 5 you'll do great at. I'm willing to bet round one you'll lose, but you know it's a good opportunity for those who are watching, if we start building an audience here, to get some points. Now, Kenny.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the Ken and Mike Show mugs?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I still have a box of those.
Yes, okay.
So I'm thinking if people are willing to private message us their address, the winner of it, of the game, if they get the game, win the game, the person that gives the winning answer and gets the points will get the mugs.
I think that's a great idea.
So if they participate, send us an address, give us an address there in in private message. You don't want to do that in the public chat. We will we will send out the Ken and Mike Show mug. The only thing is they'll have to choose if they want you or if they want me.
Hey, you know what? And by the way, anyone if you choose Mike over me, totally cool. Totally cool.
Oh no, you're not, because my ego wants me too. So.
Hey, I'll tell you what though. That sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the reaction.
And we will rehash that and go through that again as we move on in the show. But let's dive right in.
Let's do it. Hey, Mike, before we even do that, since we're talking shop a little bit, let's talk about a couple things right here. So my shirt says the Ken Burns Show, right?
Yep.
And Mr. Mike Hansen, that's my show, which of course I have not put out an episode in a bit, but they're coming back, and they're coming back with a vengeance. And Mike also has mic'd up with Mike Hansen, which you're going to see very, very shortly, actually. And it's dynamite, by the way. I just watched some of the pre stuff that Mike putting together, and it's really, really good. And it's got good information and good research attached to it. So looking forward to that. And
I uploaded that yesterday. You're gonna have fun with that and clean it up and.
Oh yes, sir. I sure am. Yep.
Right, cool.
And we'll talk about day or time, whichever you want to do there. And also, again, we've got the Pac-Man podcast. We've got the Essentials with Maddie Flint, and of course the Adrian Ross Show. All those things on the BMGnetwork.com. So, Mike, let's dive right into it. Where do you want to start, my brother?
Listen, I want to, I don't want to take too much away from the show that I had recorded for Mic'd Up, but let's jump into the tariffs.
Let's do it.
I won't give much of my information that we gave in the show. That'll give people time to look at the research that was done, and they can go over and check out the Mic'd Up when it gets posted. But I was just as a synopsis. Everybody was yelling and screaming with the tariffs coming in that we're going to create a tariff war. Trump doesn't know what he's doing. He's absolutely insane. You don't want to start a trade war with China. You don't want to start a trade war with Canada. You don't want to start a trade war with Mexico. And all I gotta say is Trump, you know, he is a chump, but Trump, Trump is playing chess, and everybody is playing checkers because this man. Listen, he's throwing a lot of stuff out there, and he's doing it on purpose. It's to get everybody talking. It's to get everybody panicking. And 24 hours later, both Mexico and Canada caved.
Yep.
Now, I do have to preface this with, depending on which website you look at, it's Trump 100%. Backtracks, according to one website, and we know what leaning alphabet soup letters those are. And then there's the right wing side that's saying that the Canada and Mexico caved to Trump's tariffs. Well, Trump didn't backtrack nothing. Let's just be clear about that, because he did it within 24 hours. He's not backtracking. There is no pressure from Mexico, and there's no pressure from Canada. If we were to get into a trade war, both their economies are marginal at best for impact on the U.S. economy.
Right.
And we could, and I'm not saying we should, and I'm not saying we should be that arrogant, but we could send them back to the dark ages if we so chose to.
Absolutely.
And had a tariff war with them. And Absolutely. I shared in the show, and you can look it up. 40% of trade from Mexico is linked to the U.S. tariffs, or U.S. trade. 40% of the Mexican GDP. So, I mean, what kind of impact do you think they're going to have on the U.S.? Right. So, but look, how much does it cost to get the 25% tariffs lifted off of you? It's to control your border and shut down fentanyl. That's all he wanted on both sides. And
that's exactly what he got. I don't want to take your thunder. I just want to say that the one thing is, because as you mentioned, it came to a halt. The proposed tariffs will be paused for at least 30 days while they work together. Mm-hmm. And of course, Trump did say they agreed to ensure we have a secure northern and southern border, and to finally end the deadly scourge of drugs like fentanyl that have been pouring into our country. And President even said, he goes, "It's my responsibility to ensure," and he said this multiple times throughout his campaign and also while becoming president. And it's my highest responsibility. I'm honored to ensure the safety of all Americans. And what's so cool too, and I just want to throw this in there, is having a vice president who's competent enough when he's going on these interviews saying the same thing. Like, right. We don't hate other people. We just need to take care of Americans. That's our job. Absolutely. And to piggyback on that, and I find it absolutely hilarious that people are still complaining that Trump is our president. Still yelling and screaming. I mean, it's like the guy hasn't been saving my life. Yeah, he hasn't been in there for 2 weeks. But let's compare the two for a second. Just humor me for a second. I wrote down some notes before the show. Yeah. People mad about Trump, and let's use their arguments. One of the arguments you hear all the time: a vote for Trump means you're a racist, and you're for people of color to be deported. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's look at this the other way. Okay, so if we hadn't voted for Trump and we voted for Kamala, okay, you're saying you're voting for a woman who was in charge of the border for 4 years. Countless children have gone missing, have been sex trafficked or labor trafficked, and millions of undocumented people have flooded in this country. Yep. Okay, so that's the inverse of the argument. The other argument is, Americans commit crimes too when it comes to immigration, right? Yes. And the laws are, Americans commit crimes too. Okay, that's great, but they're the people here that are committing crimes. If you're going to give me 200 foreigners, undocumented, to come over here, and only out of the 200, 2 of them commit crimes, that's what, 10%? It's not worth the risk. Yeah. Right. Okay. I will chance it by just not allowing them in here.
We have a hard enough time dealing with the idiots that we have in our own country. We don't need your idiots too.
Exactly, 100%.
Here's the other argument. He's a criminal, and I don't want him in office. Okay, so you don't want one criminal in office, but you're okay with millions coming across the border.
That's a good point.
Just a question.
Yeah, if he's actually a criminal.
But I'm just saying, just using their logic. Great
point.
If you ask someone the reasons and the facts, or if you ask someone the reasons why they voted for Trump, they can give you facts, they can give you statistics, they can give you understanding of why they went for President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ask somebody why they voted for Kamala, they'll just tell you why not to vote for Trump.
Exactly. Yep.
So
that is the majority.
This is my problem. I am okay with sitting down and having a conversation and be in political disagreement, but don't keep having your answer be anti-Trump. Back up what's positive about having Kamala. Yep. Back up what's positive of having the policies that have been going on. Now, let me be honest here. It's the years that we're rolling back that Trump is trying to roll back, and it is going to be painful for a little while. I will admit that. But didn't just happen under the Biden administration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It happened under the Obama administration. It happened over the Clinton administration. It happened over the George Bush administration. Yeah. We have been giving away little by little by little by little our freedoms, our money, the things that Doge is turning over right now, of the stupidity of money and corruption that's been going on for years. We're just at the tip of the iceberg of trying to get that back. And we've sacrificed so much for so long. Yes, it's going to hurt when we throw everything at the board and decide we're going to throw it all away and try and regain some of that ground. There might be some pain for America, but if you go back to our founding fathers and anybody that had any sort of investment in this country in the beginning, the sacrifice that they had to make just so their children and their children's children can live in a better world, are you saying we're not willing to do that?
Right.
And I hear people saying all the time, well, if my bills go up anymore, or if my kids can't, if this is going to cause problems for their family. It's so funny how self-centered people are, as opposed to being patriots and willing that it's going to take some rollback and it's going to take some adjustment to stop selling the farm to foreign entities and start bringing this crap home.
That's right. But you just mentioned what people are stating.
Yep.
Mostly people are stating those things literally out of just hearsay.
Yeah.
They hear information and they think, oh, that definitely, that's how I feel right now. That's how it applies to me. So yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. If it goes up anymore, it's because exactly what they said. It's because of him, even though at 4 years of ridiculousness in the fact that we've had inflation rise to astronomical levels. I mean, not that we haven't had inflation before, but it's been not only that, but the policies that were put in place, the things that they've allowed, the borders coming in, all those things put us in a downward spiral. And now we have to unravel all those things, actually get to the nitty gritty things that actually might not feel so good for a little while. It's going to hurt. That's painful possibly, but we have to look in the long run. Most of these people, as you mentioned, self-centeredness, when you're in self-centered, you're not looking to the future. You're looking to the here and now, period. As I want to feel good right now. I don't care about what happens then. Well, you're going to really hate it then when you get there.
And it's time to start rolling back some of these policies. Stop get rid of some of these slush funds. And then back to the immigration thing, which I think is all a part of it, is we've all millions of people here that are sucking off a system. And here's a caveat to that. Imagine disliking your country so much that you're running to another country for a better life. And then when you get to that country that you're sucking off the nipple of, you start flying the country's flag that you just left.
Right.
Okay? And then you start burning, stomping, or pissing on the flag of the country that took you in. And then coming here and protesting like they are out there in L.A. right now. Yeah. You're illegal. You came here. You broke a law. And yet we've opened the doors up to you, willingly or not, willingly by the previous administration. Come on in. Suck off our system.
Yeah.
And you're going to have the audacity to fly the flag of the nation that you said was so bad that you had to come here, and then you're going to protest and piss on our flag?
What's that? What happened?
Makes
with
no
Israel
sense.
And the Palestinians, like when they had at the Liberty Bell, they completely vandalized that, flew their flag, was burning our flags, beating up police. None of that got at all airtime. And this was going back within the last year, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of stuff and the rhetoric that it's unbelievable. We'll tolerate that.
Right.
But we won't tolerate somebody who actually flies the American flag and says, "Oh, I love America." Put that guy in jail. Oh, you're a pro-lifer? You're going to jail. Don't do that.
Well, and then they use that argument, well, we're a nation of immigrants. Let's make a comparison just for a second. Sorry, you got me on my freaking high horse right now.
Let's do it.
Just for a second. Let's go back 150 years, okay, when people were coming over on boats, okay, and going through Ellis Island and the like, okay? The first thing those people were doing when they were welcoming to this country is they were putting up on their front yard and up on their porch was the American flag.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's contrast that with the people that are coming over here that are saying, hey, we're a nation of immigrants and we're doing the same thing. We're just coming over here trying to start a new life. And yet we're hanging up our country's flag that we came here. There's a difference between being proud of who you are culturally than thumbing your nose at the country that's opening their arms and welcoming you in.
100%. 100%. And that is why I think, for example, you mentioned with the immigration, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Bush, of course, Obama, even Biden back in the day. If you look back and again, this is what's great about videos. It's like a double-edged sword because if you see bad ones, that's not a good thing. But you see these guys, and they honestly, it just shows their hypocrisy. They were very much for exactly what Trump is doing right now.
Right.
They said the same statements. It's just because he's actually doing it, and he's doing it now, and it's Trump.
And someone just commented on my post in regards to this show. It's not in the feed here. That not all illegals are criminals. That we just said that. We know that they aren't.
Yeah.
Okay. But
that's not the point.
That's not the point. You're coming here and you're pissing on us and protesting on us, because it was so terrible where you came from. But you're going to come here and piss on the country that welcomed you. And then and not only that, we have our own criminals. So even if it's, like we said, 10%, 2%, 5% of the ones that are just mass coming over, I don't want to take the chance if they're criminals.
Yeah, exactly.
We have our own idiots. We have our own criminals. Now, we've said this many times on the show, and I say this 100 times. If I lived in Mexico, or if I lived in Guatemala, if I lived in Brazil, if I lived anywhere of these countries that people are coming from, and I knew there was a nation that I could give a better life to my children who wasn't enforcing their rules and wasn't protecting their border, I would go too. They're not bad people. I'm not saying they are. But know that, yes, they're not enforcing the laws, but yet there are laws. And that nation that you're running to reserves the right to enforce that law whenever they darn well choose to. So it's a chance that you take.
Right. Which they should have been doing in the first place. And
right.
So that argument about they're not all, I'm so sick of hearing that. Like, that's so not even valid. That's not the point.
Right.
Nobody's saying they're going after people just because, oh yeah, I know they're really nice and they don't belong here. I can't wait to send them back. Look at you and I, we've run into people so many times that don't actually belong here. I have many times.
Right.
Look at, I speak some Spanish, so I run into these people all the time. I love them. They're great. I'm not sitting there and be like, oh, I can't wait till you go back. My point is I go through the process the correct way, the same way that I know for missionaries that have gone to Guatemala have done the same process. They want to become residents.
But neither one of you are saying that these are bad people.
No.
There's bad people in there, and the chance that the bad people in that group come here and cause problems for my family, it's not worth the risk. And like you were just alluding to, you and I have both been, you more than me, but you and I have both been out of the country to these foreign nations on mission trips and
yes.
and things like that. We love these people. We go in there and we eat with them. We rub elbows with them. We have fun with them. We laugh with them. We cry with them. It's not about the people.
Right.
It's about the laws, and it's about the nation that needs to be protected.
And by the way, whenever I go, Mike, I don't go there with my American flag and be like,
Yeah, look what I'm doing. Yeah, I know.
No, I go there and I'm like, hey, I want to know everything about you guys. Why do you do this the way that you do, or why do you believe the way you believe? How do you say this in your language?
Right, exactly.
That's what you do.
Yep.
I mean, and okay. There's millions that do the same thing from those places as well. But the point being is, you and I aren't going over there and be like, I ain't leaving.
Well, that's the funny thing. No one's breaking down the doors of the countries that they're leaving.
Right.
Now, there's a reason why they're coming to America, and America is a country of exceptionalism, and I love it, and I love America, and we have borders for a reason, and we're not saying the people that are here are bad, and I'm not saying to be racist, and just because you see a person that doesn't look like you and has a different tone of skin, that you're going to go out there and profile them and start treating them poorly.
No way.
That's not the point.
No
that
assumptions.
Is not what we're saying at all. We're saying that it's time, and the nation, if it is a nation, if it is a country at all, they reserve the right to enforce their rules. And when it comes time that the American taxpayer is starting to feel the burden of these millions of people coming here unchecked, and when you have people like Lake and Riley who have fallen victim to the not properly vetting people and securing our border, and you have outcomes like that, it is time that we say enough is enough.
Exactly. Period. End of story. That's the bottom line. And a couple of points too. There are, let's see, one good thing, and I want to mention, and I'll mention something else in a second, but I maybe I sent this to you, I'm not sure. Did you see what Pete Hegseth did?
In regards to?
Canceling a couple of the national month, like some of the Black History Month and other.
No, I didn't.
You know why though? No, yeah,
no, I didn't.
Yeah, it's actually amazing, and I'll tell you why. This is the point of it. He canceled all those special months, saying they are officially canceled, because he's like, we as a nation are going to together celebrate one day, and that's the 4th of July, because we're one. And I think it's brilliant, in my opinion, and the reason why. This is the same thing when it comes to transgender and any of the other groups that you create. When you do that, you're already segregating yourself from everybody else. When you're saying we want unity so bad, I think we should, as one country, be celebrating the fact, because you mentioned we're all immigrants. Dude, back in the day, this is always the argument. We came and we stole land from the Indians. You mean, so we took for which tribe? The tribe that was butchering and slaughtering the other tribe over there
to take the land. The only thing that makes us different is we came from overseas to do it, but that's been going on here for eons. This tribe was killing this tribe. This tribe was killing this tribe. The only difference between us, white tribe, we just came from another country to do it.
And we weren't doing it half as we were actually. We were not that butchery compared to what they were doing.
Oh, I know. Have you read some of that history? It's pretty. It's pretty crazy. But you won't see that in the mainstream media.
No, but that's the point. It happened all over the world for centuries. I mean, goodness gracious.
Now, I never had a problem with Black History Month. I can understand where he's going with that. We're all Americans.
Morgan Freeman does.
No, and I remember seeing that video with Morgan Freeman. It's in that interview he did with Mike Wallace, and it's like, Mike, you're a Jew. Do you want Jewish History Month?
Right.
So why is my history relegated to a month? There's been contributions throughout history that from the Jewish community. Do you want a month? Hey, you over there, do you want a month? I get it. We're all Americans. We should just be celebrating Americans. And that's the same thing when it comes to when we put people in political posts. And I really love it. And it's more on the left than it is the right, but you still do see it on the right. Is when somebody is put into a political post in an administration, they are the first this person to do it, the first black person. This is the first Indian American person. They're the first, Kash Patel there, who's going to be the FBI director. He's going to be the first Indian American. I don't care. He's an American. Why do we have to play identity politics? Was there a time in this country where it was institutionalized racism? Yes. Is it now? No.
No way.
We elected a black president. If we can't fill any higher of a calling in the United States with a minority, I think we just destroyed the institutional racism idea. Yeah, the narrative's got to stop. You want the institutional racism to end? You want racism to end? You want sexism to end?
Yeah.
Stop talking about it.
That's why Morgan Freeman said it. He said it so great. But
Yeah.
I see what you're saying though. And again, I'm not against black history. It's nothing like that. I like being able to see, but I think all of that should just be all encompassing, where we just look at history. And one guy I was at church. He mentioned here's why the history is constantly getting altered, and why it's so horrible that it is altered is because what happens is, if we look back, guess what happens if and it's altered a little bit, it doesn't help us behave any better for our future. That's why we have the past, is so that we can learn from it and be better. If you alter it, we honestly will not really take all the actions in all encompassing in context, so that we can change better. So if we can just appreciate our past,
Right.
we can do better in our future. And so yes, have whatever you want to have, but let's just enjoy being
We can
American.
celebrate people's accomplishments at the same time
Yes.
acknowledging their weaknesses
Exactly.
and their failures. I mean,
yes.
look at the patriarchs in Scripture,
Yeah.
in the Bible. You know, we trumpet Moses for delivering the people out of Egypt, but if we were to put today's day and age, you know, BLM would be tearing his statue down because he murdered somebody. You know,
Yep.
they don't talk about that. You
Well, the
know,
Jewish people are
Moses
still
was a
holding
murderer.
Moses is like the highest dude that could have ever accomplished anything
Right.
in life. They're almost like he's like borderline Jesus.
I mean, look at all the. What is it? You know, King Solomon. You know, and come on. I mean, we can go down. We can go down a list of these great leaders fell short.
Yeah.
But we don't lift up their failures.
Exactly.
We lift up their accomplishments because of the impact it's done in society. So keep tearing down statues down south of soldiers that did horrible things, but yet they led us into victory in so many areas.
Great way to say that. And here's the thing about it. Have you ever read anybody in history at all that besides Jesus that lived a perfect life?
No.
And that's the point, right? Like,
Nope.
if we wanted to, we could spend all day on the failures of even my life.
Well, I was just about to say that. You know, I have lofty dreams for myself that before I check out of this place that I want to achieve, and there's so many things I want to do. But man, God forbid you bring up something I did 30 years ago, and you define me because of that.
Yes.
Okay, I did some stupid things, and there's some things that I wouldn't want to admit here on the Ken and Mike show, and you probably wouldn't look at me the same way. But that's not who I am today. And if we want to keep playing identity politics, then you're never going to be able to move on from the past. The past is always going to be what you identify with.
Right.
And I don't identify with that anymore.
No way. No way.
So we got to get rid of that in American politics. We got to get rid of that in identity. It's crazy. What people will hang on to, anything to remain a victim.
Exactly. And also make somebody else feel less than.
Yeah.
And not able to do something that they could accomplish great things now. So if we could, that's what I mean. Like, as Americans, you see these constant battles between the Democrats and the Republicans in these seats, and you watch obviously the hearings that are going on right now, the stupidity that comes out of their mouths just to try to create an argument and paint them as horrible people without asking them questions. And when they go to respond, just cutting them off and saying, that's not what I asked. And then just going on, for the record, put that on the record. It's just like, okay.
Well, these hearings are nothing but theater anyway.
It is theater.
It's absolutely hilarious because I think I mentioned this on the last show during the hearings with RFK. I don't care where you stand with him. I'll be honest with you. I don't even know where I stand with him. Okay. But watching this one woman grill him, give him like a list of 5 questions he goes to answer, and she's like, oh, we don't have time to listen. It's like, you asked the dude a question. Are you there to make a point and give a speech, or are you there to actually get the answer to the question that you asked?
Exactly. And I love the lady. Maybe it's the same one. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she specifically said, this is very personal to me. But I also had to take depression. I've taken depression drugs, and it made me a better person, a better human.
I remember that. Yep.
But the point is like, do you know that you have to go through a rigorous process when you're a teacher or in other standards where you're not allowed to have those types of things? And this is the person that's helping run our country, and she's still on things like that. She shouldn't even be there. So the point being is just like, what are you talking about? And he didn't state to anybody, and we're going off on a little tangent here, but he didn't state to anybody that specific drug was making people kill. What he's saying is, we need to follow the science. We should get all the facts and all the context, so that, because again, he even said, anytime I look at my social media, when I've been wrong, I will publicly apologize that I didn't get it right. He's like, because science is constantly changing. You have a hypothesis, and you can't just stay on one. There's multiple, and we've got to look at all of them. Don't you want a doctor that knows the science behind the product that he's giving to you when you go to take it? Why wouldn't you want to know that? I would, right?
Oh,
you see the side effects, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I just
great. Yeah, my arm feels so much better, but now I've got this wart on my butt. I really don't. You know what I mean? Not really. That's a joke for anybody.
Thanks for the visual, Kenny.
I really don't have a wart, but
well, I think now you have to stand up for the camera and let them all know. You gotta prove it.
Yeah, no,
it didn't happen unless there's a picture, right?
Yeah, there's no lump back there. I promise. Oh my gosh. But anyway, hey. So speaking of all that kind of stuff, though,
yeah,
I know it's. Do you want to rattle on a little bit more about that?
No, I'm good because I'm gonna get up on a pedestal and you'll never get me down.
Hey, so on this topic, so anybody who's just joining, and if you're watching this later on, we were talking about tariffs, and then we kind of talk about the border, etc. Mike's actually, which will be out at some point this week. He put it on an episode of Mic'd Up with Mike Hansen. He dives specifically, and he stays on that topic of tariffs. So check that out. But I do have something fun for you. We'll see. Again, I think you've probably seen some of this, but let's just laugh together, Mike, and enjoy.
Well, I got some fun for you too. So
okay.
Go ahead.
Well, here's what's cool. You mentioned about identity politics and how important they are, and obviously
important.
This was very important, and it really helped this person's cause. This person, because they don't know what they identify as. So let me go ahead and get this up here. All right. Let me see. Is it up there? It sure is. Let me move that a little bit. Give me one moment here. There we go. All right. I'll have a little fun. Can you not hear that? Of course. Let me hold on 1 second. There we go.
Kenny.
Hold on.
There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
My name is Troy Blackwell. I know that I'm a new face to many of you.
Hi, Troy.
I'm Afro-Latino from the South Bronx, New York. I got into this work because at the age of 18, unfortunately, I was the victim of a hate crime. Today, I stand before you as one of the first non-binary candidates to run in the DNC's 177-year history. I'm proud to be the only Afro-Latino in this race. I'm asking you to take a chance on someone like me, a proud non-binary Afro-Latino from the South Bronx.
The final tally of votes, Troy Blackwell, 0. Our rules specify that when we have a gender...
This is only 3 minutes long, but I'll just pause for a second so we just take that.
That was the only part that I had saw, and I laughed hysterically when I saw it as well.
Do you know how many times did he have to say that he was a Latino, whatever he said?
Afro-Latino, non-binary.
Whatever that means.
That's all I caught.
Yeah.
He identifies as no sex. He's black, and he's Latino. I don't care about your race. I don't care about your mix. I really don't care about your gender. What I do care about is, are you qualified?
Yeah. Are you exactly? What is your merit? What is your merit base out here? What is your character? What are you going to do for the country besides promote the LGBTQ stuff? What are you going to do for people? Obviously nothing. He will continue here.
Do we have to?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
Is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous elections, our elected officers at this point are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must add 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender.
This is what we're talking about.
Not confusing at all, Mike.
It's even on gender right now.
We have 2 males, we have 2 females, but we don't have enough
It's evenly
transgenders.
split.
Yes.
So
Oh, it's evenly split. Why?
Does he get to pick a side? If
I'm a former parliamentarian for the city of Utah. I do have a question parliamentary for the chair, if she would. What happens? So that's assuming that that so few candidates get 0 that we can sustain 6 additional losses on top of that. What happens if we have 8 candidates who get 0 on this round? Do we have to eliminate those 6, or would they be eligible again on a subsequent round? So what happens if we
It's down to 4.
It's so confusing.
That's the point.
It's so
I know it's a little bit
confusing.
taxing, but just look at this is ridiculous.
It's so confusing.
Based on one person.
So the
Yeah.
question is, so it's down to 4. Let's just say that of the remaining candidates, and I'm not doing math, so please correct my numbers on there. What if 8 candidates get 0? We eliminated an additional 4. Do we have, or 9 or whatever candidates get 0? We eliminate an additional 4. Do we have enough candidates remaining to elect a full slate?
This is the problem with DEI.
Even if
Yes.
they're all women.
Because you can't even have a system play out or hold an election if you don't meet a quota.
Right, exactly. And this is how insane. Even she looks confused. I don't even know why I'm here. Why am I here?
And this is what we're talking about. Let's bring common sense back. And I was talking to somebody earlier today. I don't care what your feelings are about it. We need people that are willing to stand up and just say, this is wrong.
It's ridiculous. Exactly.
This is not right. Yeah, but what if they feel? I don't care how you feel. Listen, we can't run a country off feelings. And we've said this a million times. We've actually had shows about this. Your emotions change, facts don't. And that's why you can't have anybody in leadership that is going to cave to their feelings.
Exactly. That 100% brilliant statement right there. That's the bottom line. Now, Mike. This might step on people's toes a little bit, but I will tell you this. I have talked to many, I'm not just saying like 1 or 2, like many women who literally said, I don't think any woman should be a president. I don't think they should be making some big powerhouse decisions. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be leaders. I'm not saying anything like that. But the problem is that when you watch them, many of the times it really is feelings based. And you see these very feminine people like this man too, or binary, whatever they are. What happens is it's all, like you mentioned, it is feelings based. Think about, well, actually, I'm not going to go on that subject. But
You're going to get yourself in trouble, Kenny.
I'm going to get myself in trouble, so I'm just going to stop right there. But I was going to say that this wasn't actually coming from my mouth. It was actually coming from a woman's mouth.
I've had that discussion with a couple people, and I won't sway an opinion either way. But I actually have spoken a couple to women who go, listen, when I'm raging, I don't make sound choices. And
right.
I know a woman specifically that I'm thinking of. Now, I love the honesty.
Yes.
And I don't want to say that's, I don't want to be sexist because there's men that are that way too. I mean,
yeah,
there's men that present that present very feminine. So let's
like that person we just saw. Right?
So let's be careful how we approach this topic. But all in all, traditionally speaking, we got to be careful that we don't let our feelings dictate how we're going to run our lives, much less politics in a country, because you make a decision on feelings and then tomorrow you don't feel the same way.
Right.
That's a problem.
It's a problem.
And I will be honest with me. If I make a decision in the heat of the moment, 9 times out of 10, I regret that decision.
Mm.
So when we start putting feelings and things of that nature into our decision making of whether or not we should allow certain things to happen in public policy, it's a slippery slope. You're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble.
Agreed. I agree with you 100%. And I'm gonna leave it. There's a lot to say to that, and I'll kind of leave it there. But
yeah, we could go. I could get myself in a lot of trouble with some of the things that I really think about that, and it's not out of racism, sexism, or anything of that like. Because there's people that are so wrapped up in who they are in their identity that it clouds their rational ability to navigate life.
Yes. And it's not taking away, like a man being a natural leader or being in that role is just that. Mm-hmm. It's not like taking away from, because a woman and a man, they have completely different roles, and both of them are so that we should honor those roles and respect them, period. Because they're both very ridiculously vital and important.
Nobody is better than the other. Okay.
Just different roles.
We just have different roles that fit specific needs for those roles.
That's right.
End of story.
End of story. End of story.
All right. What else you got for me before we get ourselves in trouble?
Honestly, I did have something for you. I gotta remember if I.
Oh, I got stuff for
Well,
you, so you better hurry up.
I'll just make this one last point, because this didn't go on too long. You saw in the beginning of that video, there's a black woman who came up and said, look at me out here, give me the attention because I'm a black woman." That happened a few times, and of course, there was a lady singing as well.
I saw the one. I saw the one singing, and
Yeah.
as wow, that's enough.
Okay, but that with the woman saying that's happened a couple times. Could you imagine you or I standing up there, and be like, "Hey, excuse me, hey, a white man up here, you better listen,
Mm-hmm.
and you better listen good." Could you?
And then
What
sing
would
it.
happen?
No, I think instead of singing it, Kenny, I think you should rap it.
I'd rap that. I'd absolutely.
I think you
rap
should
that.
just freestyle.
I'd freestyle. But that's what I'm saying. Could you imagine us making a statement like that? Like, stop with that. And once again, you're already telling me you're a victim of something when you're actually not. I mean, honestly, I'm paying attention to you. What do you have to say? Stop saying gibberish and actually get to your point. You don't have a point. Okay, get off then.
Trump is in the White House. That means Ken and Mike are out of the outhouse and back in the studio for the Ken and Mike Show. So if you want real, honest talk with a dose of entertainment, no need to look any further. Ken and Mike have you covered. Ken and Mike are returning with an all-new show, but with the same potent and highly absorbable nutritional ingredients: truth, sarcasm, wit, and humor. New episode drops every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time starting November 21st on all major platforms. So tune in and join the conversation with Ken and Mike on The Ken and Mike Show. The Ken and Mike Show is not FDA approved and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your doctor and or therapist before listening, as it may cause major side effects triggered by truth.
Anyway, that's the end of my my little jukebox and soapbox, or whatever you want to call it.
You want to move on to the fun part of the show?
I do, man.
You want to move on? All right, we've
who was it? Was it Christina that
bloviated enough.
what my about last week?
Oh yeah, I don't even know who's in the room tonight. But yeah, you got.
If she's not here, then I might be.
You might be safe.
I might be safe.
All right. Okay, so Kenny. Let's see. Let's do the Kenny React segment first, and then we'll build up to the show or to the trivia.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna do the Kenny React segment. Now let me set this up. Okay. Some of these things are design fails.
Okay.
Some of these are accidental photography.
Accidental photography. Okay.
And some of these are WTF. Okay. And then some of them have to have a story behind them to figure out why they even exist to begin with. Okay.
All right.
So we'll start with number one. This is a weather tweet. Go ahead and read it out for us, Kenny.
Okay. Update. Get ready for a pounding. So us could see 8 inches or more. That's too much even for me. Oh boy, that says a lot in one little sentence there.
I don't know. Can you read that for me again? I didn't get it the first time, Kenny.
So I will actually. There's an update. Get ready for a pounding. Some of us could see 8 inches or more. That's too much even for me. Blaine Stewart, a male, put that out there
For our weather report.
Yeah. Good. All right.
I feel sorry for you people down there. What's that? Virginia?
Is it? Oh yeah, it is.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right. Moving on. This is a cemetery stone.
That's amazing. I need a tombstone like that. I need something. That's hilarious. Oh, mine would be Burns's wife or something like that. Arthur Spanks' his wife.
Arthur Spanks, his wife, Catherine.
Oh my God.
So yeah, let's think about that. So Burns, when Kenny dies, if we were to do this exact thing with Burns up there as the headstone and say Kenny Burns, his wife Hannah. I like that.
That means I'm haunting her.
Oh, that's great.
That's hilarious. Not only that, it still has her name. So it's, if we read it correctly, Arthur spanks his wife, Catherine.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Bad placement for books.
There she is. Is she still alive?
Yes.
Okay. God is not mad at you. He's just not that into you. That's great. Oh, that's good. That's really good, actually.
Bad book placement.
I wonder if somebody did that on purpose.
Maybe.
I hope so.
Maybe.
That makes it funnier. Gosh. That's amazing.
Please tell me that was spell checked wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And it went to print.
Oh, my gosh. What is this supposed to say?
I don't know if it's an election in progress.
Or electrician in progress? Something.
Yeah, but
completely not.
all I can think of
all I can
think is it's in a teenage boy's room. It has to be.
Oh, that's amazing, actually. Oh, that's good. Oh, and they above that, of course, we apologize for any convenience caused. So,
but there's an erection in progress.
Yes.
All right, Kenny reacts.
For my love, 26/11/53 to 3/1/20.
Read it.
Oh my God! Cherished husband, dad, and adulterer. Yes, John, I knew. Oh my gosh!
Come on.
Wow,
Oh, these are great.
that's crazy. Wow, that's as that. I wonder. That's got to be real, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Holy moly! Yes, John, I knew. Gosh. Oh boy.
All right, next up on Kenny reacts. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. There he goes, right there.
3 cuddles.
That's just.
What
I just gotta give credit to whoever the graffiti guy was that did this in a dark hole somewhere. Go in there, free cuddle.
That's good.
That's creepy, isn't it?
That is very creepy. Oh my gosh. No, thank you. Don't want it.
Next up on Kenny Reacts, please read it.
Oh my God. Do I have to? Mike, this is to you. Don't touch yourself. Ask the staff. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Obviously, they're probably saying do not handle this yourself.
Right.
But, you know, like with all signs, you should put them before your
That's a
teenage
2/3
boy.
rule.
And if he chuckles, you probably shouldn't post it. So don't touch yourself. Ask the staff. Moving on. What is this sign?
What is going on there? There's like a dude like slanted and 2 dudes. Oh my gosh.
What is this sign? I want to know what it means. I'm you know, as much as it's funny,
Yeah.
it exists.
Like, what is it?
I want to know. What is this sign?
It can't be good. I mean, who is this? Another country?
I don't know.
Butt sniffers. Okay.
I mean, hopefully it's you know, whatever they're doing is not after a Taco Bell night. Next up.
I'm confused about what this sign means. Are you really? Oh my gosh, what's going on there? What is that? Where is this?
I mean,
like,
obviously, I think it's telling you that there's a ledge that you're going to fall off of, but the other arm placement is really in a bad spot.
it's in a really, but it actually looks like they're like almost swimming, like little creases of river going by there.
Well, maybe the other guy that
What are
fell
they
in the
doing
deep
under the
end,
ocean?
he's just giving him a handle to help him back up.
If you drowned, I got you, buddy. All right. Oh my gosh.
Next up on Kenny Reacts.
We fit. Oh, that's great.
The irony, isn't it?
Have you ever run into something like that before, ever?
Yes, I have. I've seen that.
Those bridges, I've seen them where they've been so close, or at least they seem close.
There was, growing up in the 90s down at Poughkeepsie, there was an overpass. It was an old abandoned train track overpass. So it's the one with the rounded ones.
Yep.
And you had to hit that thing dead center if you had a box truck or a UPS truck. And I just remember one day being near the area, don't know for what reason, but just hearing like this nasty grinding, crunching sound. And turn the corner, you go around. There's a UPS truck stuck dead in the middle of this thing. So I have seen this happen.
Wow. Dude, you just reminded me. I used to, back in Ghent, I'd be, you saw me jogging all the time, or I'd be riding the bike with the kids. Like I had one like in the little seat, and then I had two of them in the other big thing that was the carriage thing. One time we were doing that, and we were driving, and there was a UPS truck that got caught on a electrical wire. And that wire snapped while we were coming by, and it was like coming towards us. So I started flying through the field to get away from it, because I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've got my kids!" I didn't know what was going to happen.
Crazy.
It was pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah, it reminds me of that joke from Bill Engvall, about the guy that gets stuck in the overpass, and the cop comes up and goes, "Get stuck?" He goes, "Nope, I'm just delivering this here bridge."
That's great.
Here's your sign.
There's your sign. Oh my god!
All right, moving on to Kenny Reacts.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Who the heck? Somebody really? You can't even do nothing with that.
No, I have a comment to make about this. If it was spelt right the right way and it was actually ice, is this the new drop off boxes for immigration?
That's right. That would be great, actually. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's great. With the English language, I wouldn't put it past this. This could pan out to be ice.
Yeah.
Good. My grandma knitted these oh my gosh, handle huggers, and wants me to help sell them on the internet.
This is supposed to be a panhandle.
Oh my gosh. That looks horrible. She's either a very dirty old grandma, or she really was super excited to make these. Holy goodness. Those look like they could. Yeah, I won't even say nothing. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Well, no, Kenny, can you please describe the picture for me? So if you needed to sell these to somebody, what do they look like?
Nobody would think that they were handle huggers at all. They would. Someone's going out to Antarctica and they need to keep warm.
Oh wow! Next up on Kenny Reacts.
What the heck? Oh my gosh.
The placement of the water fountain is just epic.
Even the facial expression on Superman. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. That's not good.
And last but not least.
Can't miss me. Wow. No, you're right.
We can't.
That's great, dude. Oh my gosh.
And that's been this week's segment of Kenny Reacts.
And I hope that guy is okay, or girl. We don't know who that was. Maybe somebody non-binary. We can't tell.
When you leave this world, make sure you are Superman.
Oh gosh.
So that was this week's episode of Kenny Reacts. And I got some good, genuine reactions out of you, Kenny.
Oh yeah, that was dynamite. That was funny, actually. A couple of those. I mean, I was trying to keep it PG, man, or PG-13.
I think I'm gonna do a segment where I do a couple of these where actually you have to read them out, and it's just too late as you get halfway through it.
Oh, great.
I think that's next week coming up.
Oh, no.
That is next week coming up. So next week's segment of Kenny Reacts is going to be fun. All right. So do you want to transition into Kenny Trivia and play the people at home?
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's set this up. We're going to do. Everybody's familiar with Family Feud, and we're going to do 5 rounds of trying to get the most points. Now Kenny has to answer the question. And he has to try and clear the board without getting 3 strikes. You get 3 strikes, it moves over to the people watching at home. And if they get the answer in one guess, they get all the points. Their one guess can be anything on the board. So we also, in shows past, had Ken and Mike coffee mugs made up. And if I thought about this before the show, I'd bring one on to show everybody. And the Ken and Mike shows are avatars The mugs are avatars of both Kenny and myself. And you get to choose if you want a Kenny mug or a Mike mug if you win. And if you private message us your mailing address, if you win, we will send you a Ken and Mike mug. But you have to specify if you want Kenny or if you want a Mike mug. Make sense, Kenny?
It makes sense.
I think this will be fun. All right, we're going to go into trivia. Are you ready, Kenny?
I am so ready.
You are so ready. All right, Kenny. I'm going to move this down.
And we certainly can't play the music.
Nope, not going to play the music this time. We got in trouble for playing the music. But can you see this?
I sure can.
Okay, since you can see this, we are going to do 5 rounds here. And round 1 is coming up. Round 1, Kenny. You have to... This is the round I said you are going to have difficulty with.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm planning on losing, yes.
Okay. Round 1. Name a famous TikTok celebrity.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Tua.
All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 answers on the board. The top 6 answers, 100 people are asked to name a famous TikTok celebrity. You cannot answer at home until Kenny gets 3 X's. And I'm pretty confident Kenny is not up on the TikTok, and our people at home probably are. So, Kenny, can you name any famous TikTok celebrity?
Mike Hansen.
That is not an answer.
Oh, man. CJ.
That is not an answer. Kenny, you still have 6 answers on the board, and you have 2 strikes. Can you give me a famous TikTok celebrity?
This is going to tell. Obviously, if anybody's watching, you know that it's obvious that I don't know anything here. How about Little Wan Wan?
I have no idea even who that is.
I just
All right, we have 3 strikes. All right,
I don't
so
know anything about TikTok.
we're going to go to the people at home. Now, we were told last week that we were pretty delayed. So, Kenny, we're going to have to give people a little bit of time at home and see if they can give us any of the answers. We have 3 strikes on the board. Kenny did not get any points. So the points will go to the people at home if they can name one, just one, TikTok celebrity. We will wait.
I really have no idea. Would you get any of these?
I would get 3 of them.
Really? Okay.
I-
Mr. TikToker.
Would not get any of the others. Wow, Kenny, you might win by default.
Default.
Hold on. You know what? I'm going to see if...
0 though.
Oh, man, nobody, huh?
We might have to bypass this round because, man, I have no idea. Let's see.
All right, well, we have nobody that's going to fill this. All right. Well, oh, wait, hold on. Nothing. All right. Well, we're going to have to move on from this round, if you will.
All right, tell us who it is.
Kayla said Will Smith. That answer is wrong, Kayla. So guess what, Kenny? By default, you would win, but there are no points to give.
Right.
So, do you want to see what they are anyway?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Number 6, Lauren Gray. I have no idea who that is. All right. So, number 5 is the Sway House members. Now, my kids know who that is. I wouldn't have guessed that. But my kids do know who that is. All right. Dixie D'Amelio. I do not know who that is.
Nope.
But these top three, I did know. You have Bella Porch, Addison Rae,
I have heard of Addison Rae.
and Charlie D'Amelio.
I have heard of Addison Rae.
So these are your top famous names of TikTok celebrities. Okay, nobody got the points, so we are going to move on to the next round. Round 2. Once again, we have people in the room now, so we're going to let everybody know in the room that
Oh
if
no, and
whoever,
Christina's here too. I'm whooped.
if anybody gets these points, we have Ken and Mike show mugs that we had made for our previous shows when we were on the air. And if you win against Kenny in the Family Feud match, we will send you a Ken and Mike show mug. The only caveat to that is you have to pick a Ken mug or a Mike mug. All right? And if you private message us your mailing address and you win this, we will send the mug to you.
Pick wisely. I've heard people who have brewed some coffee and put it in the Ken mug. They said that the coffee tasted better. Just put that
It
out.
tasted better?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I heard it tasted sour, but that's okay. All right. Round 2, Kenny.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Name a reason a person might wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning. Nobody answer at home? Please wait for Kenny to strike out. Kenny, you have 6 answers on the board. You have no strikes. Name a reason a person might wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Dream or nightmare.
Is a dream on here? Answer number 2, Kenny, is a bad dream.
Insomnia.
Insomnia. Let's see. No, that is not on the board. Insomnia means you just don't sleep, so you wouldn't wake up. You just know what to sleep to begin with.
All right, that's true. Okay. Let's see here. So we got bad dream in there. That's there. Wet the bed.
Wet the bed. Wow. Let's see.
Is that not on there?
That is not on there.
Okay.
Kenny, you have 2 strikes. You still have 5 answers on the board. Come on, Kenny. Why would you wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning?
Sometimes I just do. I don't sleep good. Let's see. Stress.
Stress.
Stress. Is there something that I can put next to that?
No. Kenny, you struck out.
Really?
Man. Come on. We're going to go to the people at home. First person to put an answer in there, we're going to be looking on the side column here. Okay? So the first person that can put an answer in there, you will get credit for the round, and I will write it down and see who gets the most points, and then we'll give it to the people at home. So, name a reason why you wake up. Christina is the first one to put it in there, is to use the bathroom.
I didn't even think about that.
And that is your number 1 answer. Christina, you get the points that you won this round,
What if I
okay?
enjoy peeing in the bed?
So, Christina, you won the 205 points you got out of that. I'm writing that down, and we'll see what the next level, if anybody else comes
There's
out
a bunch
on
of
top.
answers there.
Okay, well, Christina put the first one in there, and that was to use the bathroom. Kayla, you can't put a bunch of answers in on one line. That's just cheating, but Christina already got the answers in, so we're going to go through them. Ready, number 6. You're itchy.
What?
I don't know.
Itchy?
You're itchy. Number 5, you're hungry or thirsty. Number 4, you're hot or you're cold. And the number 3 answer is you heard a noise. And that's why you'd wake up at 2
They're not my
a.m.
answers, Mike.
They're not good answers?
They're not mine.
Oh, those aren't your answers?
Those are
Okay.
good answers, but they're not my answers. So.
Okay. Are we ready for the next round? Christina, you got 205 points that round. We'll see if someone else gets more points than you, and you might not get the mug. Let's go. Round 3, Mr. Kenny.
All right.
Name something you always have to keep plugged in. Name something you always have to keep plugged in. Do not answer in the chat. Wait for Kenny to strike out before you do. Kenny, name something you always have to keep plugged in.
Light. Oh my gosh, I'm done. I'm done. What? Come on now.
Oh, come on.
I didn't want to try. Computer.
Name something you always got to keep plugged in. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny, you got... Oh, wait, hold on. There was an answer on the back of the page. Oops, that's not it. My bad. Well,
Headphones.
sorry, didn't mean that one. You got lamps, though. That was right. That's a light.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so sorry, we gave that. What was the other one you said?
I don't know if I don't know.
Oh, you
What-
said computer.
What did I say?
You said computer.
I did?
Yeah, that's what you just said. You said computer.
If it is on there, go ahead and okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did.
Well, you don't always have to keep a.
I turned over the wrong one, man. I gave it. I've.
Thank you, Mike. Thank
Yeah, well,
you.
I just helped you out, but
Oh,
I have faith you're not going to get the other two.
refrigerator.
It is not the refrigerator.
That's bull because should be.
They
on.
asked 100 people, and the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Yeah,
answers.
the Democratic Party.
Okay, Kenny, name something you always have to keep plugged in.
Around my house here. Is there? Let's see. Do I know these last two for sure?
Oh, absolutely.
I have to keep plugged in. Gosh. So refrigerator's not on there. Full.
Kenny has 2 strikes, so it can go to you. Let's see.
Oh man. Dingling.
I hope you're not keeping that plugged in.
Shut it. Oh my god. Oh, you're funny. Goodness.
Hey, we're going to start a countdown, Kenny.
All right, you're gonna have to because I got.
All right. We're going to give you 20 seconds here. Things that you might keep plugged in. We're down to 15 seconds, Kenny.
Okay. How many seconds do we have?
You got about 10 seconds. Name something you might always have to
Air
keep
conditioner.
plugged in.
I don't
Air
know.
conditioner. That is your third strike. We're moving to the people at home. All right, here's your opportunity to get some points. There are 115 points up for grabs. We can add to it if you get the right answer, and we'll see who might be getting a mug. Third strike just came up on the board. We have a time delay for the people at home. So, and the answer is Christina just said TV. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your number one answer. Christina,
Oh, wow,
you can
Christina.
add 165 points to your total.
Ooh. There's a couple. Other
It is a TV, and the last one, Kayla, you did get the next one,
I was gonna
which
say that you
is
always have to have the phone plugged in.
phone. But I want to go and hit that answer, and it is
2020
phone.
stinking 5. Come on.
Absolutely. All right. All right. Kenny, we're going to go on to the next one.
All right.
All right. The next one.
All right, I'm ready.
This is round 4. I don't know why round 5 didn't show up. I have questions for round 5, but round 4. Round 4 is Kenny. Name something you never leave home without.
Keys.
You never leave home without your keys.
Wallet.
You never leave home without your wallet.
Phone.
You never leave home without your cell phone.
Clothes.
Well, I hope you don't leave home without
Oh. I never leave home without my. Let's see. So wallet, keys, cell phone. Are these other two pretty obvious?
Yes, they are pretty obvious.
Flip the second one over and then flip it back real quick.
No, that's okay. Can't do that.
Christina says, "Let's go." You just hold off a second. I'm gonna try to get this. Okay, let's see here.
Name something you never leave home without.
Coffee.
Coffee. That is your second strike, Kenny.
I'm personalizing this.
Yep.
Um,
We're going to still play the round 5, even though I don't have the graphic for it.
Okay.
But we'll ask you the question, see if you can get them all. I'll count your strikes, and then we'll still move to the people at home.
Shoes.
Shoes. That is 3 strikes. We're going to move to the people at home and see if they can come up with the last 2 answers. We are on a time delay, so we're waiting. This is your opportunity at home to win some points. Get a Ken and Mike Show mug, and then you get to choose if you want Mike or you want Ken. Ken if you want Ken's, that means you like your coffee dark. If you want Mike, you like it light and sweet.
Oh my God.
Christina says money. Ladies and gentlemen, she gets the answer. She gets the 80 points.
It's in the wallet.
Man, she's just clearing house. All right, so she's got 450 points. Let's see if anybody can get number 2. Kayla says my knife. That is not on there. The last one is related to wallet because it is a purse. All right, it's clear that Christina has won this round and has gotten the most points. She's up to 450 points, just so you know. All right, we're going to go to the last round. It is not up there. So, Kenny, we're just going to close this out now. Okay?
All right.
We will close out the trivia. Now, we're going to still continue this at home, so stay tuned. Because the last round, and for some reason I don't have the graphic for it, but we can still read it off the sheet and see if Kenny can get it within 3 strikes. We asked 100 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for the top 6 answers on the board. Name something people are afraid of. Name something people are afraid of.
The dark.
The dark. That is the 5th answer on the board.
Wildlife.
Wildlife is an X, Kenny.
Can
you be more specific? I won't give you an X yet if you can name something specific in wildlife.
Bears.
That will get you your X.
Oh, great. But there is an animal on there. Okay.
No, but I guess you can constitute it as wildlife, though.
Oh, I see. Oh gosh, what? Is it gonna be like the zombie apocalypse or something? All right, let's see.
Name something that people are afraid of. Come on, name your top 5 phobias.
I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm just kidding. Snakes.
Snakes is the number 6th answer on the board.
Spiders.
That is the number 1 answer on the board.
Rats. Mice.
That is an X. You have 2 strikes. You have 3 answers left to turn. Kenny has gotten, and for those who are listening at home, Kenny has gotten spiders, the dark, and snakes. There are 3 more answers on the board. Name something that people are afraid of.
Heights.
You have 2 strikes. Heights is the number 2 answer on the board. You have 2 more answers and 2 strikes. Name something people are afraid of.
Swimming. Water. Like being in the ocean.
That is your 3rd strike.
Oh, come on.
And we are going to the people at home. If you're paying attention, you need to name me something that people are afraid of. We have spiders, heights, the dark, and snakes that Kenny has answered. Can you answer me one of the last 2 remaining questions? Christina says death. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the number 3 answer. Dying is the number 3 answer. And Christina got the next one right after that to clear the board, which is ghosts, which ties with also clowns. Let's give Christina a round of applause.
I will give it to you. That was really good, Christina. All right, so she gets a mug.
So, Christina, you get a mug, so you can private message one of us your address, and then you can tell us if you want a Ken mug or a Mike mug from the Ken and Mike Show.
Choose wisely.
You will.
You defeated me and deflated me.
You will forever.
It would do me the honor that you at least pick my mug.
You will be forever tied to that mug for whichever you choose.
Yes.
So, do you want dark coffee, or do you like a little sweet coffee?
He ain't sweet. Oh, Mike, this has been a blast as always. I honestly love this segment. I love that we tied this into our show. Great. There you go. Because you'll never hear the end of it.
What's that?
Right. Whatever. Fine. Now I'm gonna pump up my game. Competition every time we come in here, and I'll never be defeated by her again.
Well, that means we need to get this show pumped out more, broadcasted to a larger audience so other people can have some fun with it. And so, yes, we have the Ken and Mike Show mugs, and Christina won herself a mug from blowing Kenny out of the water tonight.
Literally. And wow. I will say that there are two people that are in our audience today, Kayla and Sue. I got a confession. Back in the day when we first got those mugs, do you know that they actually requested to, and they never got them?
Oh, Kenny! Dang! Did you drop the ball?
I know.
Wow.
So they do deserve.
She says next time she'll get the Ken mug, so she says she's going to kick your butt again.
Okay. Love it.
That is awesome. Oh, see, Christina, you should have came in earlier because we had the Kenny React segment when we threw a bunch of pictures up there just to see how Kenny react. We got lots of chuckles in the chat there, so you really would have appreciated that. But I just want to do a quick recap for those in the audience, if you will, just because it was funny just to see Kenny's face. When Superman was put in the wrong place on the wall for the water fountain.
Not a good location at all.
Oh, that was great. But hey, sometimes you do what you got to do.
You're just in the wrong place at the wrong time when someone has a camera. So,
what was the one before that? That was pretty funny. Oh yeah, and then the handle protectors for the pans.
The trip to Antarctica warmers. So.
Oh wow! And what was before that? We were confused on what this sign meant in the water.
Lots of guy jokes here. You can tell there's two men that are on this show.
And
hey, thank you, Brody. Christina, let them know we seriously appreciate it. Seriously, that's awesome.
And we wanted to know what prompted this sign. So those were the.
That's a good one.
Which one was that one?
That's funny. Go back to one more, right there. That's great.
For my love, cherished husband, dad, and adulterer. Yes, John, I knew.
Oh gosh.
And we went through the teenage room. Obviously, the erection is in progress. God is not mad at you. He's just not that into you. So. And don't forget Mr. Spanks, because Arthur, he spanks his wife. And Kenny, can you read the weather forecast one last time for us?
Blaine Stewart, Mr. Blaine Stewart. I think he's probably said this multiple times in his life. Says update, get ready for a pounding. Some of us could see 8 inches or more. That's too much, even for me. So There was a round of Jeopardy. Actually, there was a lady that that one.
Yes, I saw that.
There was no snow on her what was it, wedding night, but there was 8 inches on her honeymoon. That was great.
Well, we're glad this is a family friendly show, and
yes.
So. But thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Ken and Mike Show. It was a blast where we got to talk about politics, tariffs, everything that was in pop culture, anything that's going on in the news today. And we also got to have a few laughs and Kenny get his butt spanked in Family Feud.
Literally.
Don't forget to
obviously Catherine's husband.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. To find us on all your major podcast platforms. Get ready to tune into the Ken Burns Show because he's going to be bringing that back. Mic'd Up with Mike Hansen has come back. We just need to have it edited and put it out there. Right. And we're here every Monday night live, unfiltered and unedited. And then the show, when it is off the air, gets cleaned up, gets put out on your major podcasts, and drops on Thursdays.
That's exactly right. As always, Mike, such a pleasure, dude. And everybody else out there, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you for another edition and episode of the Ken and Mike Show.
Thank you, everybody, and God bless.